Hey everyone, Greg Cazillo from Cazillo.com. Welcome to Keep Shooting Monday number 36. Today's show, we have a lot of gear talk. I found some interesting Flickr photos from the Cazillions Flickr Photo Group that I wanted to talk about. Some really cool photos, in fact. And we'll talk about the new iPhone and its new features, the 5S, which I'm probably going to end up upgrading to, even though it doesn't have a bigger screen, but I'm probably going to stick with it anyway, just because I don't want to have to rebuy apps and learn a whole nother phone. I'm just too busy to deal with that at this point in time, so I think I'm going to just stick with it. But wanted to talk about some of the phone features, the new features that are in it as far as the camera is concerned, which I think are going to be interesting, worth trying out, and it may or may not be good, but we'll find out. So first thing that I thought I would talk about today is a reminder that your green photo assignment is due by this Friday at 5 p.m. post Eastern time, that is, posted over to the forum. Some cool ones in here, but two in particular I thought I would mention as far as adjustments. Hopefully Andy is watching. Andy, I would like to see a little less yellow in this. Your white balance is a little off in this particular photo, so hopefully you can get that adjusted. And the other thing to pay attention to is these two from Jose. You're a little bit overexposed. Your greens are a little yellow on the yellow side. Unless you're doing it for creative reasons, which could be good or bad, kind of highlighting the tree. I do like that. But if you're doing it for creative reasons, then fine, just leave it. I think it's okay. But if you're not, pay attention to your exposure. I think you're a little hot here, and maybe you can adjust it in post and bring it down, or try and reshoot it. You have a couple days to do so. Other than that, there's some cool stuff up here, and I'll pick my final winners next week. As I mentioned just a few minutes ago, I'm teaching a class right now for the next 4 weeks. Today was the first one. There's 3 more. And I'm probably going to talk about that and the things that I've been going over in that class. This class is actually a basic digital photography class at a local night school class. It's actually, but it's called night school, but it's actually an 11 o'clock class, or 10 o'clock to 11:30. So anyway, it's actually a morning, but they call it night school. You know how that works. Anyway, going through the class and some very interesting questions that they talked about. One of the I'd like to go around the room and find out more stuff about what the people like to photograph. And one of the people brought up the idea of not getting consistent photos, and you only get like 1 out of like 100 or 200 or 500 that are good, and you're just kind of getting lucky. If you are just getting lucky with a photo here and there, and you can't get consistent good photos, there's a lot of things that could be an issue. You need to kind of break it down. Is it an exposure problem? Is it a focus problem? Is it just a composition problem? If it is something along those lines, study whatever that is in order to get better. Most people, it's just a composition, timing, that kind of thing. Their exposure is fine. They know how to use the camera okay. So start studying that. Get better at it. Look at a lot of other photos of the style of photos that you want to emulate and develop your own style. So work on that. Get better at that. If you do need more help with your exposure, however, or your basics, I should say, go to Cazillo.com/basics. Cazillo.com/basics. There's 7 videos here that will help you to get the basics. All right. Your basics are your exposure, your histograms, camera manual, obviously very important. You got to know your camera manual. If you don't know your camera, you will not get better with your photography. And the analogy that I always use is driving to work. You know how to get to work, or you know how to get home. Okay, you're not thinking about it. You just go. You know where the school bus stops are. You know where the traffic jam might be. You always stop at Wawa or a convenience store on the way in, or 7-Eleven, whatever it might be. You know where all those things are. You just go there and you don't even think about it. It's got to be the same way with your camera. You got to be right on point, know how it works, and be able to just do it and not even think about it. And if you're not to that point, you need more practice. Sit there with the camera while you're watching TV at night. Just sit there, play with it, figure out where the buttons are, and then maybe shoot a photo of the TV or something every once in a while. Get more accustomed with it. This is actually a method that I use to get better at knot tying. And so I just sit in front of the TV. I have a section of rope right there on the next to the TV. I know it's kind of weird, but it actually has helped me tremendously learning knots and remembering knots, which is something that I needed to do as a volunteer firefighter. I'm new to that, and so I wanted to get better at it, and that's something really easy that I can learn while I'm just sitting there watching TV or watching a video on YouTube. I can just grab that piece of rope and I can tie some knots and remind myself how to do it, and then I can just sit it down. And you get to the point where you don't have to think about it, and then you know where the buttons are, and you just work on that muscle memory. And once you get to that point of that muscle memory and things just happen, that's when you're going to get a lot better. And you're able to not think about the camera anymore. You can think about the composition and seeing the light and doing other things with it. So work on that. That's real important. 15 camera settings you must know by heart. There you go. Real important. Using the viewfinder. Autofocus, super important. Of course, seeing the light. All those things are really important, and your 7 basics in photography in order to go to the next step. So, good one, Cazillo.com/basics. Couple of video. Couple of gear comments this week. Halo effect with the new Canon 70-200. This could be bad if you do have one of the brand new 70-200s and your camera, your photos look like this in dark areas or when you have a lot of light entering the lens. You have this little halo thing right here. That's a problem. See that line right there? That is, they think anyway, it's coming from this area right here. Light's actually reflecting off of that, bouncing around inside of the lens, and obviously then hitting the sensor. So if it is happening to yours, if you notice that in yours, I would contact Canon immediately, since you spent a lot of money on that piece of glass and you expect it to perform. So check that thing out, and let me know if you do see something. Send me a tweet with a picture. I'd like to know if there are people that are affected by that. And so yeah, send me something. 100mm medium format lens. Interesting. I would love to see Nikon and Canon, for that matter. I know I'm a Nikon shooter, but we need competition in order to improve, as I've always said. I would love to see Nikon and Canon get into the medium format camera range. I think it would be interesting. I think they could do a great job, and I think they are a little bit more connected with the actual end user. I think they do a better job with that, and so in general, I think they would do an excellent job with a medium format camera. I hope they do it. I really do. And this is another rumor, another thing that is down that road to say, yep, maybe Canon and Nikon are jumping into that and gonna give the big boys, the big medium format cameras, the digital guys, a run for their money. So we will see in time. What was this? Oh, yes, the new iPhone 5S comes in 3 different colors. The big features are the new color, which, if you're into colors, great. I'm probably just going to buy a black one again. It really doesn't matter to me. Of course, the new OS, which is coming out. The bigger, faster processor, and a lot of camera features. The one thing that I thought that was going to be a big deal and make a big difference, and I'm so glad that they're falling in line with this and doing this the right way, which is, instead of getting 40-some megapixels like that new Nokia, I think it was, phone, oh wow, we have 41 megapixels in a camera, so what? The size of the megapixels don't matter, it's the quality of the sensor that matters. Apple went with a larger sensor and an individual larger, what do they call it? The actual pixel sites, I think is what they're called. I forget all of a sudden. Anyway, overall bigger sensor, makes for a better photo, and better quality, better color, the whole 9 yards, so that's good. True Tone Flash, I thought about this about 5 years ago. I said, it'd be really nice if the flash would automatically compensate for the white balance, and I didn't see why it couldn't happen, and I'm really hoping that Nikon and Canon are watching this and that somebody is working on this. While I like the super warm background that I get when I'm using a flash on the foreground person with a daylight balance and get that super warm area in the background, kind of like this photo right here. You know, the background here is real warm tone. I like that in a lot of my photos. Sometimes it would be nice to be able to switch that over. So I would love to see this technology, this LED technology, added over, and it automatically change its output, the tone of its output, and the color temperature with the temperature that the camera is reading. I think that'd be a really cool technology, and hopefully Nikon and Canon are going to be doing that soon. It'd be definitely interesting. 10 frames per second burst mode, as long as you keep the shutter down. New panorama mode. And what else? Slow motion 720p video at 120 frames per second. That's interesting. And price is where you expect it to be. So yeah, it's a good. Oh, and a new 5-element with 2.2 lens. So it's going to allow in a little bit more light, and that's a good thing. So yeah, interesting, very interesting. I think that it should be a good upgrade, and I'm not going to switch from Apple at this point as far as my phone. Much as I want a bigger screen because of these big dumb paws, I just don't see it being worth me switching apps and getting out of it, and I just don't have the time to spend at this point. This, however, bothered me in the way that this was worded. This guy Schiller talked about, and Friedel captured it or said it. If you don't know about Jeffrey, he actually puts out a lot of really good Lightroom plugins, I should say. And I bought a number of his plugins over the years, and he makes some really good stuff. Check out his website. I forget. Is that it? That's not his primary website. If you just do a Google search for him, there you go, regex.info. He has some really good photography. I think he lives over in Japan or somewhere in the Middle East, but I believe he is American. This is at least by his name, I would think he would be American. Anyway, so it makes some really interesting plugins, so check out his site. But anyway, talked about that. It used to be the way that you take better pictures, you learn to be a better photographer. You get bigger cameras, bigger lenses, but you learn all about the technique of light meters, gels, and filters. And you can spend your lifetime learning how to take advantage of this and make it work for you. For the people who don't want that, that's great. For most of us, we just want to take a picture and have the iPhone take a better picture for us. I disagree in this statement for a number of reasons. Number one, I don't see why they don't just give us a manual mode, but then again, that'd be stupid because this isn't the Apple way. The Apple way is you do it our way or get out of the way. And, you know, our way or the highway. That's the Apple way. And they should have that on all the phones. They should have that tattooed on the butts of everybody that works there because that is their way, you know. This really bothers me, though. This is right along the line, just like it says in this article. It's right along the lines of the, you know, that Marissa Mayer comment about photographers and how there's no such thing as a professional photographer anymore. Same idea. These guys are just talking out their asses and not saying, you know, not giving us a lot of credit as pros, so or even, you know, advanced amateurs. So, you know what? Pay attention to what you're saying. Be careful what you're saying. You know what? Your little iPhone cannot replace this bag full of equipment. I got news for you. I don't care how good you think it is. It cannot replace it. It never will replace it. Period. So, pay attention to your marketing here, people. What you're saying, what you're doing. I doubt Apple will ever learn, you know, because again, it's their way or the highway. You know, they're such a monolith; it doesn't matter to them anymore. If a couple people are pissed off, but you know, pay attention here. Now, this is interesting. This is this new Lexar professional workflow reader thing. It's interesting. but it's super expensive, number one. I saw it posted somewhere else. I should have kept that tab open, but I didn't. Anyway, it has this little dock thing, and then you can buy individual readers for your cards. And I didn't see the price of the dock, but each of the card readers are like $30, and the XQD one is like $50 for one. So it's pretty expensive. But here's the other thing that I don't understand. Why is it so huge? Okay? You know, I have a card reader. Like, here's a card reader. Okay? This is probably a 5-year-old SanDisk card reader. Alright? Relatively portable, reads a bunch of cards, does just fine, I don't have a problem with it. Why would you make this thing so huge? Look at this picture right here compared to a laptop. Alright, this thing is this big. It's not portable at all. This is not something you would use with a laptop when it's like 4 inches high. And this, I don't know. I don't understand where marketers and designers and these people get these ideas that, hey, this is going to be perfect, this is going to work well. It is super expensive, but yet it's not compact enough for you to actually take on location, which is typically where you need the extra speed, and you need it is on that location to get it done quicker, be able to read multiple cards and get it done, you know, as soon as possible. This, I don't know, doesn't make sense to me. I'm not a fan. I'd rather see you just buy. I can't reach my other card right this second. I just have a simple Lexar card reader that reads SD and CF cards, and that's it. Does the job, and you know, it's relatively fast. It's only a 2.0 reader, but that's all I have. I don't have any 3.0 devices yet, so it was working out fine here. So anyway, working for free. Interesting article here. Again, everything that I posted today, I'm going to post over onto the comments in the YouTube video as well as on the website, Cazillo.com. So you can go back and read all these articles in the future. A little story about this. A friend of mine was needed some advice not that long ago, and she said, hey, Greg, what do you think about this? She had said, look, a magazine came to her after they saw some of her photos of some dog photography or pet photography. Said, hey, we love your stuff. We'd love to do an article, da-da-da-da-da. After seeing it, and my initial reaction is, if they're making money, if someone else is making money on this, and actually that article was not just about her, that article was about other things. Oh, and by the way, we're going to use your photos. If someone else is making money from this product or from your photography, you need to be making money from the photography. Okay? That magazine is not a nonprofit. They are not a charity. That means that you need to be making money because they're out to make money. All right? Just because, don't fall into the trap of, oh yeah, we'll use your photos and you get good promotion, da-da-da-da. No. They're making money. You need to make money. That doesn't mean that you shouldn't be working for free once in a while, and it's good PR once in a while, give something away, do some good things, you know, be community oriented and help people out where you can. I'm not saying don't do that, but if someone else is making money, don't let them take advantage of you. So that's what this article came from, and so check it out. And I think the points that are in here are valid. Anyway, had to rant on that a little bit. Last thing, how to properly put dates in photo file names. I'm glad this article agrees with me because I've been doing it this way for years and years and years. Amazingly enough, I didn't know this. There actually is an international standards organization rule. Should have brought this tab up before. ISO 8601 actually states the correct way to do it, and it standardizes it across the world. So why wouldn't you want to be doing it the standard way? I have no idea. I do it this way, except I shorten it. This is the standards way, the 4-digit year, 2-digit month, 2-digit day. I shorten it to get rid of those 2 dashes to be like that, and so that's what I've always done. All of my photos are named that for like the last 7 or 8 years worth of photos are probably named like that, and every single photo gets renamed that like that when it first gets imported into Lightroom. Works out really well. I'm very happy with that, and the reason why that came up is because here is one of those photos that got posted onto the Flickr photo group, yet the file name, the image name is 800_5311. If you see that photo in your collection, you have no idea what that photo is. So do yourself a favor and start renaming your photos. Even if you don't go backwards and start renaming stuff, at least start from this day forward. Get a good way, a good method, and stick with it. At least so you can, at a glance, see the file name and have an idea of what's in that photo without opening it. Trust me, it makes your life a lot easier. All right. So talk about these couple photos from the Cazillions Flickr Photo Group. There's some really good stuff in here, posted on a regular basis. Everybody's been putting some really cool photos in here, and so check it out. Anyway, some awesome photos that caught my eye here. Here is one, Sophie's pool shot. I would have loved to have seen this a little bit closer. I think this dead space here is a little bit wasted. Maybe even cropped it square. I don't know. Do something a little bit more with it. This space down here, I don't know, just doesn't catch my eye and actually pulls my eye away from the rest of the photo. Don't get me wrong, I think this is awesome. I really think this is awesome. But take a step farther. Don't be afraid to play with it in post if need be. Crop that bottom out, Rich. I'd love to see that. Hopefully you can repost it. If you do repost that photo, Rich, send me a tweet and I'll retweet it out so that it was adjusted. I think a little crop on that would make a world of difference. This one, I just thought it was cool in general. I don't have any problem with it. I think it's really neat. Good timing, great time of day. Water's nice and calm. Awesome photo. I like the black and white. It's nice and muted. It's not too contrasty, just enough. Works very well. And he gave it a name. That's cool. Sophie, she has a name too. Back to this one. Love this photo. I love the range of it. You go from the range of the nice bright whites back in here to the sky green, even though that color is a little bit off. I don't know that I've ever seen sky that color. Should be a little bit bluer rather than like cyan or green, whatever that color is. But all the way down to your real darks. Love this. I think it's a great image. In general, really cool. Not sure where it was taken. No. Don't know where it was taken. Not seeing it on any maps or anything on it. So, anyway, cool photo. Don't forget to rename your photos. Give them a name. Give them a cool title. Fun something or other. And just gives it that kind of final touch. You always want to sign your work or make it a little bit more personal if at all possible. Instead of the general file name. So I think we beat that to death today. So let's get into, wow, a bunch more comments here today. Wow, a lot of comments here on YouTube. So let's look at this. Holy crap. Okay. What's your opinion between an SB 910 and SB 700? I'd probably go with the 910. I have a Nikon D7000 and a Tamron 17-50, and I want to buy some cheap tele lens. Don't buy a cheap lens. Save your money. Buy a good one. Buy a Sigma, Nikon, Canon. I guess it'll be a Nikon in your case. Don't buy cheap. Save your money and buy the right lens. Don't buy something cheap now. One more question. I have a hard time focusing in low light with my Tamron 17-50. Is the lens fault or is it anything else? I guess my question would be with the 7000. In the same scene, is your other lens working fine? If so, then yeah, it could be. The Tamron lenses never do focus very well in low light. That's one of the drawbacks of that. So of a Tamron lens, of a lower quality lens like that, is you have those issues, especially in low light. So, like this issue right over here that we talked about with Canon, something like this is what I would expect. An error, I should say, like this is something that I would expect from a Tamron or a Tokina, not a high-end lens like a Canon or a Nikon or, you know, somebody else big like a Hasselblad or something like that. So yeah, I think that's it there. So just don't buy cheap. Save up money, buy the right thing, buy the good one, and be done. I have a 3200. Want to get a micro lens, but going to update my camera body in a year. Yeah, check out one of the Nikon 105s or Nikon 60mm micro lenses. They're good lenses. You can get them for $400 or $500 used, and they'll work out fine. You might have to manually focus it with the D3200, but since you're going to upgrade, you probably want to upgrade to at least a D7100, maybe the D600, and either way you go, it'll be a good one for you, good upgrade for you, and it'll last. You know what I mean? Want to have autofocus initially, but I don't think it's the end of the world. I think you'll be fine with that. Just take your time, and you'll be all right. Let's see. For off-camera flash, all manual, of course, I want to purchase basic radio triggers. The choice between a new radio Popper Nano and the Pocket Wizard Plus X. I'm a bigger fan of the Pocket Wizards. I don't know why. I always feel like the radio poppers are kind of cheaply made. I had played with one up at the Photo Expo last year. They seem very cheap, and I don't know how, I've never used one, so I don't know how reliable they are. But I know that the Pocket Wizards are good, so I would go with the Pocket Wizards, personally. At this point, I haven't had a real need for upgrading my current radio slaves to Pocket Wizards, but when I do that, it is going to be to another set of Pocket Wizards. Alright, let's see. Somebody answered what the full frame body means. That's good. How can I avoid the reflection when you shoot a subject through a windshield? That's easy. You just need to put on a circular polarizer on your lens, and then you turn that circular polarizer, and it'll get rid of those reflections. Alright, what would you accept in a portfolio website? Any of those three are going to do the job. My phone is blowing up here, so sorry about that. What would I suggest on a portfolio website? Any of those three, WordPress, Joomla, or Drupal, are going to fit your need. I suggest taking a look at all three of them, see which one you like the back end better, and see which one you like the plugins better. I am a Joomla fan. I run the majority of my sites on Joomla. Really like it. It's very extendable. They have a lot of excellent plugins. I would say you'll probably want to go the Joomla way, and if you post questions onto the Cazillions forum, I can then help you out with that and answer a lot of those questions that way. But it's up to you which way you go. But try all three, see which one you like, the admin area, check out the plugins, the way things, and extensions, see the way things work and the way they display, and then make an educated decision. That's going to be your best route. Let's see. I think, what is your backup strategy and workflow? I actually have a video about that. Let's see. See if I can come up with this video quickly. Yes, I actually have a video talking about that a while ago, and here you go. Bring it up here for you. I talked about my new strategy this year. Actually, I implemented this. I ended up purchasing some new hard drives and set it all up, and am working on it. I have the bay and my actual PC and the whole 9 yards. It's all working together. Works out great. I actually have one. This little Sans digital hard drive bay is actually my off-site backup. So once a week, once every 2 weeks, I bring that thing into the studio and I back everything up to that, and then I take that back home. And then I also have 3 copies here locally of everything, so it's automatically backing it up at night. Works out great. Absolutely love it. And knock on wood, there's never going to be any problems, but that's why you have backups, because there could be a problem. And so that's the way I do it. Check out this video right here. I'm pretty sure it's probably going to be Cazillo.com/backups or backup. Nope. Try it again. .com. Nope. Okay. Do a Google search for Cazillo.com's backup, and it's the first one there. At least it is for me. It might not be for you, but you're probably going to come up with it. Okay? But I'll also put the link to that in the description, as well as the article on the website when I put that up. So you can wait for it either way you want to go. Let's see. I don't remember. Do you have any rule over the Flickr group? Not really. I'm pretty open with it. You know, I check it out once or twice a week. I look at it. There really isn't any issues that I've noticed, so haven't had any problems, so that's a good thing. Well, because they're usually pretty self-regulating is probably a good way to put it. About the only rule that I have is I think no more than 5 photos a day or a week or something like that. So so you can't flood it with your whole portfolio, which is a good thing. I'm glad that they have that kind of a rule, or you can allow you to set up that kind of a rule over on those Flickr groups, but that's it. And let's see. A couple more questions here, then we'll get out of here. PA will be getting some great foliage soon. Where in PA do you recommend visiting? Just depends on where you want to go. There's Pennsylvania Grand Canyon, there's Philadelphia, there's Pittsburgh, the Poconos could be really good. All depends on what you're looking for. If you want more urban, maybe you want to be around Philly or in a scenic area or in a park or something like that. But if you want completely open wild, then look for the more open areas. You know what I mean? The more scenic areas. What I would probably do is do a little bit more research and check out Flickr, do some research of Pennsylvania foliage, see what you like, see the areas of photos that were already created, and see if you get something good and it can work out for you, and then try and visit that area, maybe look at the timing of that photo so you get a good idea of how it's going to work for you. So that's usually what I'll do when I'm setting up a shoot like that and planning on going somewhere, is just searching around, see what I can find, and then plan my trip around that research. Let's see. Thank you, okay, good. By the way, one more comment. Freddie Rico talked about the CMS again. Another part of this is, if you don't want to design your own template, or you can't design your own template, also look at the templates that are out there. Templates, the actual design, while there's a lot of free ones for all 3 of those CMSs, you might find one that you absolutely love and you want to use, and so it might only be offered for one of those CMSs, and so that may also influence your decision. So along with the extensions and how the CMS works, you might also check out the templates and try and find one that you like. Do you offer portfolio review consultations? Absolutely. You can check out the website, and in the store area, I'll click back on this. In the store area, you can click right here to the coaching page, and I will gladly go through any of those reviews with you and help you out with your photos right there. So, yep, that's that one. What about a Drobo? Never been a fan. Oops, I didn't click over to that page. There you go. Sorry. That's it. So, again, that was store, coaching, and that's it right there. What about a Drobo? I'm not a big fan of the Drobo, and here's the reason. It's software-based. It's not hardware. That means if the unit goes, you're done. And so Personally, I use Retrospect, as I talk about in that video. Retrospect backup, the personal edition, I think it is. It was like $200 or less than $200. Excellent software, works really well. I've been using the backup software for probably close to 10 years. I've been using that backup software in different versions since like version 4, and I think they're on 9 or 10 right now. Anyway, excellent software, has always treated me right and done well. I'm just not a fan of the Drobos. I don't know why. It's too software dependent, and I'd much rather have my own solution that separates the hardware and separates the drives. And I don't know, just never been a fan, I guess. So, alright, I think that is everything for today. I think I actually got through a lot of the questions last week. I think I missed a few, so I do apologize for that. Hopefully everyone that I commented back on last week was able to get their question in today. Don't forget to get your photo posted into the forum by this Friday at 5 o'clock. It is the green assignment. The reason for that is that summer is over. Hoping to see the little bit of leftover green that is outside from here in the U.S. And I think that is it. So, yeah, check out the video. You can always watch this again. I'll post it up on the website today and tweet the link out, all that good stuff. You can always follow me on twitter.com/Cazillo or facebook.com Cazillo Photo. And last thing, by the way, if you're on Google+, I know we have this big stupid long link, so on Google+, you can click one of these links. You can follow on one of those. Oh, that was the last thing I wanted to talk about, and I almost forgot. Go to the dashboard. Look at that. This is my dashboard, by the way. Oops, you can't see it. Hold on. There it is. Right there. Almost 31,000 subscribers on YouTube. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it, guys. And very soon, we're going to be passing 2 million views. Hopefully, that keeps growing and growing. So do me a favor. Keep sharing the content. Keep putting it out there. Share this with your friends. Share it on something. When this video goes out today, if everyone would send this email, the email that I send out, to one other person, the email list could grow, the subscribers could grow. Please do me a favor and recommend the site to someone else if you think they could, they need some help with something, or you're not sure how to explain it, maybe they need another way. Please do me a favor and keep recommending it. I would greatly appreciate it. I think that's it today. So, Greg Cazillo, Cazillo.com. Thanks, guys. Keep shooting. See ya.